Welcome to this mudlarking outing video, and today I'm heading to one of my favourite spots on the River Calder in West Yorkshire. Even though I'm filming this near the end of autumn 2019, I've got a stack of other videos to release before it, and it'll probably come out in January or February. Most of the riverbank anywhere near the bridge is fenced off now for flood defence works, and the Environment Agency is about to do some large-scale engineering things, which unfortunately might mean the end of this beach, or at least the end of the river dropping interesting old things in this singular, accessible and concentrated spot. The beach itself is fenced off at both of the main entry points, but not the third overlooked way that I came today. There's a chance I might get told off if I'm spotted. That'd be interesting. But we're here now, so let's see what there is to find. I don't think it's going to be intact, but cobalt blue poison bottle. Oh well, this stretch of river is not kind to bottles. I don't expect to find ones in good condition. Now, what else? Looks like someone kind of falling over backwards, putting his arm on the ground to try and stop. So maybe he's been in a fight. Bunch of grapes by the looks of it. Might be tin glaze. I'm not sure, so I'll have to check that out when I get home. Cauliflower, artichoke, no idea. Part of a pillbox, probably. A bottle. And this is a good example of how poorly bottles fare in this river. It might be the only almost intact one I find today. I might take it for the challenge, see if I can prettify it somehow. There's that thing. I left it at the top of the beach last time. It's near the bottom now. First bit of pipe stem. And some colour. Looks like blue shoes. And a bit of wire. My first scrap of scrap for the day. Japanese knotweed. I reported it 6 months ago. Blue glass, moulded to look like a wooden door. I found something like this here before. Still don't know what it was from. Any suggestions? Bit of a stoneware bottle, probably either a master ink or a ginger beer bottle. It has some charm, but I'm going to leave it. Looked like a bone handle piece, but it's asbestos. Not particularly dangerous unless I break it and inhale the fibres. Not a cheery thing to find. A nugget of aluminium. Do shout out if you see anything. I can't hear it, but I enjoy that some of you do that. This beach is good for pipe stem pieces, nicely worn, good for theoretical jewellery or macrame projects. I recognise this. Centre of a cartwheel, big, heavy to take, but just 2 more and a lot more pieces and I'll have myself a cart. Bit of a flagon, with maybe enough of words to track down the brewer or drug dealer that sold their products in it. This is one of 2 bottles that I'm going to check out. A bit beat up, broken lip, and scratches through the glaze filled with dirt that I'll never get out. And over here I spotted another similar style of probably ink pot with an even more broken lip. Pipe stem. It's small and potentially useful in crafts, so it doesn't matter that it's broken. First bottle stopper, and it's a glass one. Hose sauce by the looks of. Oops, can't get away from me that easily. Bit of pipe stem with the heel, any maker's mark long since worn away. I do intend to take that big foam tube of pipe lagging, but first there's a ball. A rubber ball, but it is actually at the start point of a little pathway that curves down around here. And between these 2 clumps of vegetation, here I have consistently found marbles. They do hide well amongst the pebbles, so I shall walk this bit several times today in the hopes of catching them unawares. The top of a flagon. Something aluminium. Oh, wasn't expecting that. Hopefully there won't be any corroding batteries inside to deal with. I'll take it, separate the recyclables of it. It's a frozen Charlotte doll. I'd love to find one complete with its head and its hands and feet one day, but those are the bits the river has a taste for and intends to only spit out the body. Now I'm slowly working around to the marble place from the other side. Oh, spoon. Little copper or brass teaspoon, was probably silver-plated originally, now quite thin and delicate with splits in the bowl. Not really a thing of use anymore, but it has beauty and who knows, might become part of something else one day. Any marbles in my peripheral vision? Nope, still hiding. How did I miss this aqua blue bottle stopper? That's another hose sauce one. A bit like HP brown sauce, the leading brand of it in this area around the year 1900 and made up until fairly recently. That's quite an interesting little base of something. Glazed inside, so maybe food or drink storage jar. Quite worn. It's hard to discern if it was handmade, if some of the dips in the clay are chips or they were there at the time of its manufacture. I don't think it's particularly old, maybe 19th century. By all means comment if you can offer a better identification. Bit of plastic, a window seal by the looks of it. I'll take it. An obviously old piece of shoe. Hard to judge the age, but I reckon it's late 19th, early 20th century. Bit of brass. Bit of green glass. Bit of pipe stem. And yay, another glass bottle stopper. And yes, it is another hose sauce one. Each one has been a slightly different design so far. Always a pleasure to find, even if I don't much enjoy the type of sauce that this one's stoppered. Just once, it would be nice to find a button that's more interesting and less plastic than the ones I find hereabouts. Regardless, I'll take it. Nice blue colour glass. Milk of magnesia bottle is the most likely candidate. leg in tights or stockings, probably a male leg, quite dandyish in style, mid-1800s, though the figurine is undoubtedly 20th century. Now let's see if this mystery thing is hiding anything else. Nope. Bit of river glass. And now I'm going to take it back up to the top of the beach again, obviously keeping an eye out for good things along the way, and I shall leave it there and see where the river drops it next time. That's if there is a next time. Cut glass handle off the top of the lid of something, possibly for a cake stand. Pottery looks like it might be a figurine. Oh, okay. Pottery pigs. I'd have thought 3 little pigs would be more common theme in pottery, and these two don't look like they're missing one. This vulcanite rubber bottle stopper. Not quite complete, but a pattern on top that I haven't seen before. It looked more interesting, just a plug, a bit of plastic, a bit of brass. Spectacles, or sunglasses missing most of the tinting. Plastic. And a big metal box. Looks like not exactly a planter, but certainly something that plant pots could be put into. Now, is it something I'm going to take? Well, yes, I think the paint is probably not great to flake off into the environment, and I do seem to have a lot of things that need containers to contain them. That works out nicely. Black plastic bag, I shall grab that. I might need both hands. Now this stretch up here is where I usually find knife handles, antler or bone. The marble place hasn't produced so far today. Will the knife patch? Or have the patterns changed now the foliage has died down a bit? Metal. Aluminium, I think. And a tiny bottle, which I probably will take, even though I keep telling myself not to for ones in such poor condition. Oh, wow, okay. That's the outer flesh and skin of an unripe tomato. I was wondering if the tomato plant had survived this year. Let's see. This may be a part of a candlestick or a very strange bowl. A bit of pattern around the side, and I don't know. Let me know what you think, or if you recognise it. Now first the little bit of pipe stem, which I'm sure might be getting boring for some people by now. And how about the glass bottle stoppers? I still enjoy finding them, even if it's another hose sauce one. If I've learned anything at this beach, it's leave no bone unturned. This one I think was just butchered, but some I found have been ancient knife handles. Down, crawling under the ground. Gonna find some bits of pipe and glass. Another glass bottle stopper. And good gracious, it's a hose sauce one. Yay, another glass bottle stopper. And oh my, it's a plain one. What a treat. And no, that's not exactly sarcasm. I do genuinely enjoy finding them. Little ink pot, I think. Scratched up but miraculously intact. I like it, and I'll take it. Nice colour. Oh, pig. A partial piece of a porcelain porcine. Now I just need to find a pottery wolf to complete the set. Is this the bottom of a torpedo bottle, or just part of a really large kick-up? It's very thick, worn smooth, and it's a beautiful colour, so I'm taking it regardless. And now I'm sure I stepped over a vulcanite bottle stopper on the way here, so let's see. Nope, but a bit of nice river glass. And some more. And there it is. Looks like a top hat, with limited below it. Probably was a name embossed on there, but too worn away now to read. Interesting, abstract pattern. Second or third vulcanite stopper? I've lost count. Barrett's. I should be able to look them up and find out a bit of this stopper's history. That's quite nice. I think this is one I've discarded already. If not, then I'll discard it now. Chunk of probably the bottom of a wine glass. Pocket knife. Outside of a patch I'd usually find knife handles. Pipe stem. Looks a bit thin for a bread rising bowl, but that's what I think it was. And looks like a majolica leaf. I see a little bit of brass. Nothing very special, just part of an old window, I reckon. Or rather, the bits that keep it shut, or open, depending on choice. That's a nice piece of either green striped obsidian or slag glass. It's hard to tell the difference, for I know which I'd rather it be. This thing's a weighted fishing lure. Lead and plastic, two things I try to remove. Oh, stigmaria. Looks like a really good example too. Very clear markings. Can't have been in the river for very long, so I'd guess it was washed out of wherever it was fossilised not very long ago, and not all that far away. I wish I knew where that was. It'd be incredible to find part of the trunk and more roots of a Carboniferous period tree fern in situ. Clay rather than glass, so I'm okay with this marble not being where I expected to find a marble, and it might be a bulb bearing rather than a marble anyway. I reckon it's a stand for a small candle, a very cheap cut glass candlestick. and about 2 metres beyond where marbles usually wash up. It's a sad day when your rudimentary, not at all scientific predictions of fluid dynamics and the deposition of small variably sized glass spheres on a rocky beach in a Yorkshire river fall short of being accurate. But cod bottle marble, yay. Roundup time. That was a fun little outing. It's okay that I didn't find anything truly unusual or spectacular. I found some decent river glass which might one day make it into a craft project. I say might because the intent is there, but I keep on not quite getting around to it. I've got a long list of craft projects that I have started doing and filming, and river glass jewellery is on the list but not in the top 20. Likewise some nice pottery pieces which could one day become part of a mosaic, but that's not in the top 20 either. I do like this kick-up, or torpedo bottle thing, whichever it is. It's a pleasing shape and I think I might use it in a lamp project if I can design something nice around it. It's always pleasing to find bottle stoppers. They're a small thing, easily stored, and often have enough history for me to get lost in stories of companies and people long gone. Hose is one I've read about before though, and the Barrett's one. There's too many candidates to be sure which company called Barrett's made it. I have a friend who makes jewellery out of the pipe stem pieces he finds. I may try it myself some day, or donate all the pieces I found to him. Or sell some, although selling things that require a trip to the post office would be a detriment to my current plans. It's about a 2-hour outing, and takes a lot of energy which I'd rather devote to creative projects than commercial ones. I always like finding marbles. I don't feel a need to have any project in mind for them. I will happily continue picking up every marble I find. Every pocket knife too. This one isn't particularly old, maybe 50 to 150, but it's quite beautiful in how it's worn, and it's got a hidden history, which I'd guess in this particular case is that it was lost by a fisherman. But it could just as easily have been used as a weapon, or used for whittling a sculpture, or have been the tool in the pocket of a factory worker. Figurines, and the augmentation of them with limbs of wire and Fimo, is still something I find quite fun. I haven't any plans as yet for any of these. Suggestions are welcome for what you'd like to see them become. I think I have to stop bringing home so many bottles. Just because I'm in a non-bottle dumped location, finding a bottle does not mean I have to take it as if I'm adding to a bingo card of what makes a good mudlark. Of these 3, I only really like one, the ink pot with the character wear and tear. The other 2 I'm probably going to put in the recycling. This fossil was an unexpected find. I found them in that river before, but never one in quite such good shape. Which I guess means there's a fossil bed fairly close by which I didn't know about, and now I'm curious to try and see if it's already been documented, and whether or not I can find it. I'd like to try tumbling some of this obsidian / possible slag glass one day, and this is a good candidate. It's nice, but not too gorgeous on the outside to risk. No great loss if it doesn't turn out nice. In terms of how photogenic it is, finding wire and scrap metal rarely makes for great footage. Hopefully some of the craft project videos I have in mind will make the copper wire and brass pieces into the stars of the show. Top 5 in my craft project video list. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then please give it a like. It helps to build the success of this channel. Subscribe if you haven't already, hit the bell icon to enable notifications. Comment, share, donate, buy or ignore. Thank you all very much for watching, and for now, goodbye.